Okay, I'm just going to do this real quick. This is where we're making our entry point again for the swim meets. Okay, a dolphin's rug would be nice, but I can't get into that right now. So this is what we're doing. We still have our artificial plants here. We have a transplanted hosta inside hiding, and we have some hostas that I split here. These come from Lowe's. These hostas here, I did buy some from Home Depot. So again, this is part of our entry point. We have rose bush over there, so if I can find some $10 or less rose bushes, one will go here, one will go there. This will be our entry, okay, into where the swim meets are held here. Now right here, these are just transplanted tiger lilies from my house that were actually donated by my neighbor who is of Jewish descent, and many of you know that I grew up in a house with women who were Jewish and Caucasian, and also considered mentally retarded at the time. Feeble-minded was also a term during the time when I was growing up. Legalized sterilization was still being performed for the feeble-minded in New Jersey. And for Alice and Isaac, actually Alice was one of the women who lived at my house with my family and I. She was Caucasian, but she fell in love with an Isaac who was African American. And they both had to be sterilized before they could be joined in union together. And, you know, as a young girl, I was able to hear stories, of course, of slavery and struggles of African American, but I also was able to learn the struggles of other cultures as well, of Jewish women, of Caucasian people. And a lot of times with different groups, segregated groups, they want you to only hear and be in support of their struggle. But one thing sometimes gets lost, and I'll just say of the African American, I grew up with an eclectic group of individuals from different races. Now, we all assimilated into the African American culture, but everybody who's brown with nappy hair, thick lips is not only just African American, even if historians say that we all derived from African culture. Many of us will not put down or set aside the other cultures that we're a part of. And outside of that, the point is that when people are dealing with mental health issues, and again, we have Milestone over here, so my heart is overjoyed, because again, many of you also know that I was born to a woman who was considered retarded. The paperwork still reads that way from those years, and she was also diagnosed with catatonic schizophrenia. Oddly enough, she was diagnosed with that after she had been raped and impregnated at the age of 11. Now, we all know that in molestation, that can occur for a very long time before anyone even knows it. Okay, so her diagnosis was the onset of her being raped and impregnated. And even when we look at women who suffer postpartum depression, you know, after giving birth to their child, a lot of times they will go into a fit of psychosis. Alrighty, but outside of that, this is how I balance it all. Thank you.